There's a scene in Rocky 3 that most people remember as a training montage and nothing more. Apollo Creed, the man who used to be Rocky's rival, now in his corner, pushing him, stripping away everything comfortable about the way he used to fight. But the part that actually matters is one exchange. Four words in total. Rocky, exhausted, says one word: tomorrow. Apollo's answer comes back immediately. There is no tomorrow. Not as a threat, as a correction. Rocky wanted to push the rest of the work to a day that felt easier than the one he was standing in. Apollo would not let him have it because the moment you actually believe there is no tomorrow, not as a movie line, but as a fact about your own life, everything about how you spend today changes. Here is what I want you to sit for the next 20 minutes. That line was written for a boxing movie, but it is not a boxing idea. It is a biblical one, older than film by 2000 years. And most of us are living like we never heard it. Like tomorrow is an inventory we own, guaranteed, sitting in a warehouse waiting for us to get around to using it. This is episode 68, and today we are talking about the specific ways you have been spending tomorrow's currency as if it were already in your account, and what changes the moment it stops. You are running a quiet transaction every single day, and you have probably never noticed it. You postpone the hard conversation, not because you don't know it needs to happen, but because tomorrow feels like a safer day to have. Postpone to call your father, postpone starting the business, the program, the routine you have been talking about for a year. You postpone repentance, the actual turning, not the guilt, the turning. Because tonight doesn't feel like the night, and surely tomorrow will feel more ready. Every one of those postponements runs on the same hidden assumption that tomorrow is guaranteed, that it is sitting there waiting for you, already yours, and all you are doing is choosing when to cash it in. James does not let that assumption survive. Why? You do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. A mist, not a warehouse of guaranteed inventory. Something that is here and then is not, and we do not get to schedule which. Proverbs 27 verse 1 goes further than description into direct command. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day might bring forth. Boast is a strong word for something as ordinary as saying, I'll do it tomorrow. But that is exactly what it is. Every time you casually assign an action to a day you have not been promised, you are speaking with more certainty about the future than any man has the right to claim. This is not a scare tactic, it is an account correction. You have been budgeting a day you do not own. Jesus told a story about exactly this man, and it is worth slowing down on because it is not a warning about greed the way most people remember it. It is a warning about timing. A rich man's land produces more than he can store. His first instinct is not gratitude, it is a construction plan. I will tear down my barns and build bigger ones. And when it is done, he speaks to himself in a way a man speaks when he believes he has finally arrived at the future he was working toward. You have plenty of grain laid up for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink, be merry. Notice what he was actually saying. Now, finally, I can start living the way I actually wanted to live. After the barns have built, after the storage is secured, the life he wanted was always scheduled for a future date. And he had just, in his own mind, arrived at it. God's response does not critique the barns, it corrects the calendar. You fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. Then you will get what you have prepared for yourself. This very night, not next year, not after the harvest, af- after this one. Man had already mentally moved into a future he assumed was his to schedule, and the text does not even let him make it to the next one. This is the man postponing the life he actually wants to be living until some future condition is met. Once the business is stable, once the season is easier, once he has more of whatever he thinks is missing. The story does not say that future never comes. It says he doesn't get. It says he does not get there. The barn gets built. He does it. I want to get specific now because this stays comfortable as long as it stays abstract. There is a conversation you have been meaning to have with your father, and every time it crosses your mind, you tell yourself there will be a better moment. There is a version of your faith you keep telling yourself you will step into once things settle down, once work slows, once the season eases, and things have not settled down in 3 years and you have stopped noticing that. There is something you have been telling the people you love. I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm sorry. And you keep assuming there will be another opportunity to say it that will feel more natural than this one does. You are treating tomorrow like a guaranteed second chance at a sentence you could say right now. This is not a guilt trip. This is an audit. Name the actual thing, not the vague category, a specific conversation, specific call, a specific step you have scheduled for a day you do not own. Because here is what the rich fool teaches you that a warning never comes. The bans were not a sin, the delay was. He was not condemned for building storage. He was corrected for assuming he had time to enjoy what he built before he had to answer for how he built it. The thing you are postponing is not wrong to want. It is wrong to assume that you have unlimited days to get it. Here is what could turn into paralysis. And I want to correct that before it does. Living like there is no tomorrow is not the same way as living in dread. It is the opposite. It is what actually produces clarity. Psalm 90, verse 12. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. What is the sequence? Numbering the days, facing honestly how finite they are, does not produce despair and dismiss. It produces wisdom. A man who actually reckons with the fact that his days are counted stops wasting the ones he has left on delay. Hebrews 3 verse 15 narrows this from productivity into obedience specifically, which is the part most men skip. Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Today, not the version of you that shows up once the schedule clears. The you, the you God is speaking to right now, whatever condition today finds you in. The invitation is not postponable, and the hardening happens gradually, one delay tomorrow at a time. So here is what today actually demands of you. Not a total life overall before sundown, One name thing, conversation you identified in part. Have it today, even imperfectly. Called your father. Make it today, even if it's three sentences. A step into the vision of your faith you've been scheduling for later. Take it today, in whatever form is actually available to you right now. Not because tomorrow definitely won't come. It might, probably will, but you do not get to know that in advance. And a man who acts like he does is the rich fool standing in front of his newborns, already narrating a future he has not been given. I don't want you to leave this episode carrying dread. That was never the point of what Apollo said to Rocky on in that gym, and it is not the point of anything I have said. Here. 2 Corinthians 6 verse 2. Now is the time of God's favor. Now is the day of salvation. Now, not now is the deadline. Now is the favor. There is no tomorrow. Is not a countdown clock hanging over your head. It is permission to stop waiting for a more convenient version of today to show up. It was never going to. This is the day you are given. It is enough. So before you go to sleep tonight, do the one thing. Say the sentence you have been saving. Make that call you have been rescheduling in your head. Take the step into the life you keep assuming will still be available to you whenever you finally feel ready for it. There is no tomorrow. There is only today. And what you do with the mist while it is still here. This is built, not felt. Other iceberg. I'll see you all in the next episode.